storm you hold, let it begin. Standing your God form, rise and shine. They never told you, but it's divine. Standing your God form, claim your throne. You've been the ruler all along, along. They never told you, did they? No, the power in your hands, it glows. In the mirror, a stranger stares back.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the, so I'm trying to figure out the whole intro thing that didn't work out. So we're gonna have to figure that out afterwards. But welcome to the very first live channel Wisdom Circle on YouTube and Substack. And so for those of you who have been following me for a long time through different channels and things like that, you remember Mindful Morning. So this is going to kind of be a little similar to that, but with a little bit of a twist because now this is Mystic Temple. So what I'm going to be doing is channeling the cosmic collective consciousness. And what the cosmic collective consciousness is, for those of you who don't know, is a collective stream of consciousness. They told me to call them the cosmic collective consciousness. It is a collective stream of consciousness, multiple streams of consciousness collectively that come through me and speak, and sometimes they take over my body. We're not doing that in this one. But sometimes, and then they just kind of feed me whatever it is that I need to say. So when we're doing these channel wisdom circles, I won't know what I'm going to say before I say it. I'm just going to start speaking, and it's always messages that you need to hear. I'm also connected psychically, tuned into those of you who are viewing this right now, those of you who are watching, and those in the future, and they're giving messages specifically for you guys and those who will be watching this in the future. So whatever comes out, comes out. So the topic today, by the way, I'm Monica Bay, also known as the Divine Mother. And so the topic today, the first thing they want to talk about, sometimes they switch topics. The first thing they want to talk about is disruption on your path. So we all have a life path. We know that we have a life path. And that life path is kind of a general blueprint or a general guideline for what your life is going to be. Know that we always have free will. So our life path is not always set in stone in terms of all the details of everything that happens on the path. But when when we have disruption in our path, a lot of times that disruption comes from us. So the message is stop disrupting your path. That's the message. But we're going to talk about how to do that as well. But as your path is being disrupted, how that happens is sometimes we are being stubborn about how we want life to go, and we're not fully tapped in to the life that we've agreed to. Okay, we can see all of these things happening on social media. We can see all these things happening in the whatever in the media and our friends and family and stuff like that. And then we desire maybe to be like someone else. We desire to have a life like someone else's life. And then we try to control our life to look like that picturesque picture of whatever that is in our life, but that's not what we signed up for. So this is why in the book of Rashida and Mystic Temple, we're always talking about tuning within and going within, because you have to stay true to your soul. You have to stay true to your soul contract that you have actually created in your life for your life. And everything is not, like I said, all the tiny little details. We have the road, all the pebbles in the road, the trees, the placement of the flowers, all of that stuff A lot of that stuff is still according to free will and is a result of our choices and our decisions, as well as our actions and our inactions. And part of that inaction is the deniability of our spirits, the deniability of our soul's purpose. And if we're not focusing on our soul's purpose, then what are we doing? Because that's why we're here. That's why your soul came here to incarnate. I'll tell you what it is. Your soul came here to incarnate into a human experience for a reason. It didn't come here. It came here to have fun. Let's not, we came here to have a good time too. But we came here to have fun. We also came here to achieve a purpose. And so that path is important to that purpose. That's why you sign those contracts, those soul contracts with all the different people that you interact with. That's why you signed the general soul contract for your life purpose. So when you deny that, if you're not fully tuned in to your spirit and you're not fully tuned into that, then you feel lost. So for anyone who's watching this, and I feel like there are a few people that are feeling this right now, feeling lost. If you're feeling lost in life, you're lost in, it could be in any area of life. You could feel lost in life in general. You could feel lost spiritually. You could feel lost from a career standpoint. You could feel lost from an emotional standpoint, from a relationship standpoint, all of those things. Whenever you are feeling lost, that means you are not tapped in. 100% of the time, by the way. When you are feeling lost, and for those of you who are new, I do a lot of things, but I am a spiritual teacher, I'm a life coach, I'm a hypnotist, I'm a psychic medium, and a whole bunch of other types of psychic. And I'm also a channel for divine knowledge, which is what I'm doing right now. And I help. I'm also a healer, a metaphysical healer. I heal people all the time, and I see this. People come to me feeling lost, and when I go in and tap in and see what's going on, 100% of the time, part of that feeling lost is due to a lack of connection. So when you are not fully connected, this is why meditation is so important. All forms of meditation doesn't have to look like a Buddha on a mountain. There's a lot of different ways to meditate, but the point is go within. So you have to tap in, you have to be connected to your higher self, to your inner self, or else you will be lost. And as you are lost, if you are lost, you begin to create your own problems and traumas and disruptions on your path. And that's the message that the Cosmic Collective Consciousness wants to get through right now to you so strongly. I feel it so strongly right now, is that, and they're really pushing this whole envy and jealousy kind of thing. And sometimes, sometimes you can have envy, you can have jealousy and not even realize it, because it doesn't have to look like, hating on someone. It doesn't have to look like that, but energetically, it is that. If you are looking elsewhere and desiring, and sometimes it's there's different forms of it, but sometimes it's not as negative as envy, and it might just be uh, obsession. It might just be idolization, these types of things. And you have to realize you are God. You are your own God. So you shouldn't be idolizing anyone. You shouldn't be looking at, you can look up to people. There's a difference between idolization and looking up to someone. So let's talk about that, because you can look up to someone. That's okay. We all have mentors. We all have people that we aspire not to be, but we aspire certain qualities about them. If you aspire to be someone else, you're not being yourself. That's not a good thing. There's a negative energy behind that. So it's okay to look up to people. It's okay to aspire to certain attributes that you feel connected to, not just that looks nice. But again, it's about the connection within. So not having that kind of energy, but when you do have that kind of energy, you create blockages. Why? Because you're not allowing yourself to be yourself. You're putting someone else above you. You're putting someone else in front of you. And that creates disruptions on your path. So how does that disrupt your path? Well, if I'm trying to embody someone else, I'm not being myself. My authenticity is the key to my life. Understand that your authenticity is the key to your life, not just to your life, to the fulfillment of your life, to the freedom of your spirit, to the to the achievement of your purpose. You are who you are for a reason. You need to appreciate who you are and not try to be someone else at all. I always say embrace your weird. I'm very weird and and I love it, okay? And so it is what it is. You either resonate or you don't, period. Okay? And I'm authentic. Now, we've all been through periods of our life, especially in childhood, where we may have not been as authentic as we are, but as an adult, you have the ability and the opportunity to be authentic right now. So, whatever it is that you're holding back from yourself, it's time to let that go. It's time to let that out. Because I always say, when you build walls, you build a cage for yourself. But those walls go both ways. Okay, you have a wall right here. Just imagine you have a wall right here, right? And you're like, no one get in. I'm trying to be safe here, and I just want to put this mask on the outside of myself, which isn't who I really am, right? No one can get into who I really am because I have this wall up. But guess what? That wall goes both ways. You can't get out of that either, just like they can't get in. So as you are trying to be other people, as you are idolizing other people, and we do it, not we, I don't do it, but people do it all the time with celebrities, and I think everybody's learning that lesson now. Okay, anyway, but with celebrities and with uh, people, just anyone who or people who are maybe popular in your group of in your in your world or whatever, we may you may idolize those people or want to be like those people. So if you are being someone else, you're missing the key. You don't have the key to your life. So what's going to happen? You're going to fumble. You're going to disrupt your path. And disrupting your path stops you from being able to get as far as you're supposed to get. Sometimes it creates a hamster wheel because you won't get out of the shell. You won't get out of this. You won't break down those walls and allow people just to see you for who you are. You won't allow that. So now you're holding yourself back. Here's your path. You're walking down your path. Now there's a wall here. You're just not getting anywhere. But the rest of your life is over here, and you're stuck over here because you won't get past it. That's coming very, very strongly. So many of you are feeling this right now. There's something in your life that you are not knocking down and moving forward. Something. And you need to ask yourself that right now. What is it that I'm not doing? What is it that I'm hesitating from doing? And start moving. Start moving. And it's not even necessarily an action. It might not be a doing. It might be an expression. It might be that you are not expressing yourself properly. You are not expressing yourself fully. You're holding yourself back. You are maybe, and this happens all the time, you're spiritual and you don't want to be too woo woo. People might think you're crazy. Guess what? Everybody's crazy. It's okay. But you're not crazy. But the reality is if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. And if that's the life that you live, that's the life that you live. Other people, first of all, you do not need other people's permission to be who you are. And you do not need other people's acceptance to be who you are. Let that marinate. Let it marinate. You don't need other people's acceptance to be who you are. So for those of you, wherever you are, YouTube or Substack, listen, go within. Stay connected within, because if you are not connected, you miss all of this. You miss all of this. You may get stuck and wonder why you're getting stuck. The first the first step to understanding why you're getting stuck is go within. All the answers are right there. Your soul will tell you. And here's a telltale sign that you're feeling stuck. If you start feeling bored, you start feeling discontent with life, you start getting depression, you start getting anxiety. This is a sign that things are not right within, that your spirit is screaming out to you. We need something different. Move, do something, stop this. You're holding me back. Because guess what? Our soul is in our body, which is our vehicle, right? Our vessel. Our vessel contains, according to the cosmic collective consciousness, defines the vessel as your mind, body, and your spirit. So, and your energy system, all of it includes your vessel, because this is a vehicle. The vehicle is not just physical, the vehicle is also spiritual. And all of these things work together in order for us to move along our path. But if you're holding back, your spirit, your soul has to work with the rest of you. It has to work with your ego. It has to work with your conscious mind. Like it's a team effort. And we all know how sometimes teamwork doesn't always work too well, right? I need you to be a good team player with your soul. Okay. Sometimes teamwork, sometimes you got bad people on your team. Okay. But you still need to win. And so your soul is like, what's going on? These are not good team members. This ego is getting in my way. This this personality is getting in my way. This idolization is getting in my way. I can't be who I came here to be because this person over here idolizing someone else. Talk about it. So make sure that you are looking within. And again, that's the first step. Go within. And then once you go within, you can see, okay, yes, I can feel that uneasiness. I can feel it, even if you're new to this. If you go within, and by going within, what I mean by that is simply bringing your awareness within your spirit, within your body first, and then tapping into your energy system. Simply with, don't think about how to do it, just do it. That's what I always tell people. You naturally know how to do this. But this is something that has been programmed out of you. Understand that. Our society doesn't, why do we think it's woo woo? Because that has been programmed out of our society, but this is our nature. This is our nature. We're getting back to our nature. And that's what Mystic Temple is all about, is bringing you guys back to your power, because you are so powerful. You have everything within you. So when you tap in, you don't have to think about how to do it. There's no special techniques that you need to learn, because you naturally have your own technique. Just go within. Bring your awareness in your body first, then into your energy system. And once you get there, stay there and allow everything to unfold. Know that your intuition is strong. Your intuition is correct. So when you feel whatever you're feeling, you'll start to feel that uneasiness. And as you start to feel that uneasiness, you can dive deeper into that by asking more questions like, where is this from? What am I uneasy about? And just stay there and let it unfold, and it will. And once you get your answers, now it's time to take action. Because first of all, most of the things that you get, you already knew. You were just ignoring. You already knew in the back of your mind, oh man, I need to put myself out there. Oh, I need to make that video. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do that. Oh, I need to stop pretending that I'm still Christian when I'm not. I need to stop, whatever those things are. I need to be more authentic. We all get those messages, and we think they're just random thoughts. No, that's your intuition, and sometimes your soul trying to tell you, trying to smack you up and tell you, like, listen, you're not being a good team player. I'm trying to get what I have to get done here. And yes, you can enjoy your life, and that is also what Mystic Temple is all about, is enjoying life, because we're not all in the clouds. We're not all about spirituality. We're also very grounded here in the physical plane, understanding that life is we are here to live a life of duality. So we are here to live a human experience, a physical human experience, and all the enjoyments that come with that, and also the trauma and the chaos too that comes with that. That's what we're here to do, or else we wouldn't be in physical bodies. We wouldn't be here as humans if we weren't supposed to be human, right? So that's one. And then the other is the spiritual side of life as a human, and being able to awaken as a human, being still here on this physical plane, awake. That is the big task of this video game that we're in. that is the highest level of the game, is to awaken within the game. Okay, that's like having a lucid dream, because we are in a simulation, and awakening in a simulation, realizing it's a simulation, and then moving from there is like the cream of the crop. But again, life is all about duality. So it's not about, you can't enjoy life and you can't have money, you can't have luxury things if you want them, you can't have a great job, you can't do these things. You can do all of those things and still be spiritual and still achieve your purpose. But the key, again, is being connected to who you are, being connected to yourself, and allowing yourself to be authentic. If you are authentic, you will achieve your purpose. That's not the only thing you need, is authenticity, but that is the key to it. Because without that, you're holding yourself back. You'll achieve something, and you'll start to move a little bit, but you're not really moving because you're holding yourself back. And that's a form of self-sabotage, which I just did a class on the other day at Mystic University. But you really need to be focused inward and focus on your path. And so also what they're giving me regarding your disruption on your path is when you feel disrupted on your path, you have the authority. Understand that you have the authority over your path. Remember, I said that we have this path, right? That is kind of a blueprint or like an outline of what our life, what do we agreed our life to be like from beginning to end. But there's all these details in between that we get to decide. There's all these details in between that are again a result of our actions, inactions, reactions, our thoughts, all of these things, right? Our choices. So as that is a reaction to that, or that our life, that's how we have the ability to manifest, right? So if we are manifesting our life, what is manifesting? That is authority. That is the ability to create your reality. And so there's a whole mixture of things going on in this very complex reality that we live in. Yes, there are a lot of things that are pre-planned, generally. The details, though, are not. The details is what we get to manifest. And so as we are manifesting, it's important that you understand you have authority. And that's why I'm always saying stand in your God form. That was the song that was playing at the beginning. I don't know if you heard it, but stand in your God form because you are God. And if you don't understand that, then you can't fully be in your authority. So when there are disruptions on your path, know that you have the authority to remove them. You have the authority to get rid of them. You have the authority to move through them. So this isn't just about I need to be authentic. That's a part of it. The other part is literally using your power in order to make sure that your path is what it needs to be and making sure that your life experience is also what you would like it to be because you still have that authority. So again, when I was talking earlier about idolizing other people and maybe seeing other people living this life that you would love to live, that doesn't mean that you, again, we don't want to idolize anyone. We don't want to be envied. We don't want to be jealous. Okay, they're all kind of similar energies. We don't want that. What we want is, okay, I look at someone and I maybe get inspired because I see what's possible, right? So this person is doing this. I would love to do that. It feels like it resonates with me. Again, connected from within. It feels like it resonates with me. I feel really connected to that. And I think I can incorporate that into my path using my own authentic take on it, right? That's kind of how you would mix those things appropriately while not disrupting your path. And then manifesting that. Manifestation is a mixture of energy, right? And you can manifest however you want. There's many different ways of manifesting, but manifesting through energy as well as action. Those two things together are an intention, of course, which is part of the energy. Those two things together is what really creates the creation in the physical plane. That's what really creates the manifestation. So if you're doing those things and you're on your path and you're connected to your higher self, you are good. You are good. But what they're giving me is that there are many of you who are having disruptions right now on your path and feeling like there's some boulders in the way. Move them out. Move them out of the way. But before you move them out of the way, you need to understand the boulder. You need to understand what's going on within you. You need to understand why the boulder is there. What created the boulder? Boulders don't just appear out of nowhere. They are created, whether they're created by you, which is usually the case, or they're created elsewhere. But at the end of the day, it all reverts back to you, if we're really being honest. So once you understand the boulder, then you know what to do to remove it. But if you don't go within, if you're ignoring yourself, if you're trying to stay busy all the time, if you are yourself, then you'll never know. You'll never know. And then guess what? That boulder will just stay there. And what will you do? You'll just complain about the boulder. You'll just sit there and complain about the boulder. Like, that's it. We're just going to complain. We're not going to actually make any progress. And we're going to distract ourselves instead of removing the boulder. So for those of you who are doing any of that, stop it. Make sure that you are doing all the tips that I've given today with going within and really tapping in and making sure that you are on your path because your destiny is key. So the cosmic collective consciousness, for those of you who are new, the cosmic collective consciousness gave us a framework for what actually matters in your physical existence, in your human experience. There's only three things that actually matter. Everything else is supplementary. Your vessel, okay, which is again what I explained, your life purpose, and your soul's growth. Your soul is here for a purpose, and that purpose has an impact. Your soul growth is about your soul growing from lifetime to lifetime. So those are the only three things that actually matter in your life. Taking care of your vessel, making sure that you're focusing on your life purpose, and making sure that you are focusing on your soul growth. Going within fixes most of that. That doesn't mean you can't have fun too. And those things actually, because that is your life purpose, it will be fun. Trust me. No matter whatever your life purpose is, it is fun because you are already wired to enjoy that. Again, everything is here for a reason. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to just focus on those things. I'm not going to have fun. First of all, you will have fun, but also that doesn't mean those are the only things you can do. Like I said, everything else is supplementary. But those are the three most important things to focus on in your life. If those things are not high priorities for you in your life, then you're going to suffer a lot. You're going to suffer a lot. Why? Because one of the things that the book of Rashida states is that suffering is a choice. And it is. Why is it a choice? Because if you don't listen, if you don't allow your soul to be in the driver's seat, then in order to get you to start doing that, suffering. Suffering. We have to have obstacles in the path. We have to have suffering in order to force us as human beings to force us to do something different. How many times have you known that you were supposed to do something? Waited, procrastinated, and then something bad happened that forced you to do it. Everyone can think of a bunch of things in your life that have shown you that. That's how it works. So if you listen to begin with, then you avoid a lot of those negative circumstances that are there in your path to force you to make a decision. And you can still make the wrong decision, and then it just keeps throwing more negative stuff at you. Like, we're just trying to get you to go. You're being a bad team member right now. We're just trying to get you to move, and you're not moving. So you have to move, and you have to listen. But if you're not doing that, yeah, you're going to suffer a lot. And so if you're not paying attention to those three things, you will end up suffering. And people suffer way more than they need to. We don't need to suffer anywhere near as much as we do. We could life could be so much better than it is, no matter what your life is like right now. Your life would be so much better if you simply listen. And you've proven that to yourself a bunch of times. Like, oh man, if I only listened to that intuition, something told me that was going to happen, and I did it anyway. Why do we do that? Instant gratification. Oh, we love instant gratification. We love instant gratification, and then we pay the price later. If you simply listen, this is why the book of Rashida is here, because it gives you the roadmap to life, but not only to the spiritual side of life, like I said, also to life fulfillment. We're here. We don't want to suffer unless you want to suffer. I don't know about you, but I don't want to suffer, right? I want my life to be great. I'm here. This is like a vacation for my soul. I want to be happy. Why do I want to suffer? Suffering is a part of the human experience. You're not going to not have any suffering, but you can significantly limit your suffering by simply listening. So also that helps your path go smoothly. As you are moving down your path will go a lot more smoothly if you simply listen. All right, that's all that they have for me today. I don't know. Oops. Okay, I missed all the chat. All right. All right, we create our lives. That's right. That is right. People will always have an opinion of me, but I live my life for okay, great. I'm gonna show that on the screen. Okay, I'm testing out this whole system. Okay. I love it. I love it. Yes, great, great. Okay, so I'm so glad that you guys got all of that. I'm glad that that resonated with you. So what needs to happen now is embodiment. So anytime I'm going to be on here every day, by the way, live every day, Monday through Friday, and I want you guys to understand that what am I saying? Understand that knowledge without embodiment, knowledge without action is pointless. So I'm going to be here every day, Monday through Friday, same time, giving you messages from the cosmic collective consciousness, and every day it'll be something different. So whatever you are not doing that I'm telling you to do, I need you to start doing. Okay. So I also need you to embody it though, not just empty actions. You need to embody this stuff. Embodiment is key. If you don't embody it, then you're just listening to it and not getting anything out of it. That's really important for you to embody it. So I want you to think of what you can do right now with what I've given you today, with what the cosmic collective consciousness has given you through me. I need you to think about that. And I need you to take action on it in your life, in your real life. And also the part about the suffering, I need you to make sure when you make a decision, I need you to vow never to ignore your intuition again. Because I see it happening all the time, even after I've told people that. I see it happening all the time. People ignore their intuition and then they regret it. And you can prevent that. So I need you to just follow your intuition. And I know sometimes when we're having intuitive thoughts, and sometimes we're confused and we don't know whether that is our intuition, if that's our fear, if that is something else. Again, this is why it's important to be connected to self. Now, I have plenty of meditations on here on this Mystic Temple channel. I have plenty of meditations on here on YouTube. Sorry, I forgot I'm on Substack too. On YouTube, if you go to there's a playlist with meditations and shamanic journey. If you go there, there's plenty of meditations that will help you connect with it for different reasons. And so I would suggest that you do that. If you're new and you're someone who isn't well connected, you definitely want to get connected. You really, really want to get connected with yourself. Life changes. Everything gets better. Like I said, we want to be happy. Why are we out here suffering? Why are we out here? Yeah. Why are we out here suffering? Okay, for no reason, right? This is the path. This is the key. So just do it and listen to your intuition. And so how to know if it's your intuition. As you're connected to yourself, you will know more. But it will feel right inside. You can ask yourself, so until you get fully connected, I'll give you another hack. You can simply ask yourself, what is something that, I'm sorry, we can ask yourself regarding the intuition, regarding the intuitive message. Is this coming from fear or does this feel good inside of me? Because you can feel the sense of, again, it really requires you to be connected though, but you can feel what fear feels like in the body. It doesn't feel good. It feels like anxiety. It feels like uneasiness. It feels kind of like this, right? Or like this. It doesn't feel steady, right? So when you tune within, if there's a fear there that doesn't feel steady, then that's probably rooted in fear. You need to clear that fear out. Get yourself in a state of empowerment, because the opposite of fear is self-trust and self-empowerment. Because when you understand your power, there is absolutely nothing to fear. So if you fully connect with yourself and you allow yourself to be who you are, right? You fully connect to yourself and you are tapped in. You're able to determine whether that is something that is fear or if that creates a steadiness. If it comes from a steadiness and assuredness, then that is your intuition. That's a good hack. But again, it's better if you're really, really tapped in to be able to really differentiate between that. And like I said, if you go on this journey with me, guys, you're going to be great. Okay. If you don't go on this journey with me, I don't know about all that. But no. But stay on this journey with me at Mystic Temple. We are here to help awaken the masses. We are here to help you. This is a spiritual revolution. Revolutions start small and then they get big. And we just started and we are growing. And this is only going to get bigger and bigger. And for those of you who are not familiar, I'm going to if you go to mystictemple.org, you can find out all the information about Mystic Temple. I definitely suggest that you do that. Mystic Temple is a is a digital sanctuary, a digital temple, a virtual temple worldwide to help awaken the masses, help awaken you to what your power. I'm awakening you to your power through the Book of Rashida, which is a book that was written through me by the Cosmic Collective Consciousness, the same person that, the same, not person, the same collective consciousness that is giving this message today to you guys, wrote this book. But in that case, it actually takes over my body and writes everything out. And then I don't know what's being written until I come back and I'm like, oh. So in the divinity sessions, which will air every Sunday, which also we're going to start going live on those as well. Previously, they were always previously recorded. We're going to start doing that live. So as we go live, every Sunday we will do divinity sessions, and those divinity sessions will show, will be around the Book of Rashida, like reading passages from there, just breaking those down, those messages, because the Book of Rashida has so much great insight into life. And also, again, it's also about your enjoyment of life. So that's really important. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I have for today. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. Same time.